Hey everybody, it's Tara here with Healing Adventures, where we inspire, motivate, and activate your truth, your passion, and your mission on this planet. So today we are going to talk about understanding how powerful you are through understanding the context in which you're living from. So I'll say that one more time. Understanding how powerful you are through understanding the context in which you're living from. And what you're going to get in this episode is, if you're not real excited about that context in which you're living from, I'm going to talk to you and show you how to tweak it and change it so you can shift it, so much so that you're loving the context you're living from. So stay tuned. So thank you so much for stopping by my channel. And if this is your first time, welcome. So as you already know, some of you know, if you're new, you'll find out. But if you are not new to my channel, you'll know that I'm a hypnotherapist as well as an intuitive healing coach. I also do work called body regeneration. I've also been certified as a Reiki master and channeled light healer. So there's a lot of different modalities that I use and that I do in my practice, but also within my own life. A topic that has been coming up quite loudly and profoundly the last few weeks is really understanding your own power through the context of your life. So first, I want to start by reading the definition of context so you can understand what I'm talking about. So context, I'm going to read this to you. Context: the circumstances that form the setting for an event, statement, or idea in terms of which it can be fully understood and assessed. So that is pretty powerful. And I want to talk about this today because it's come up a lot, not only for myself, but I see it showing up in others' lives, is really understanding what is your context for life. What does that mean? What is your context for living? How you can assess what your context for living is actually noticing what kind of circumstances you have, what kind of situations keep appearing to themselves, or appearing themselves to you, might be a better way to explain that. And one example I will give, I was speaking with a dear friend this week, and we were talking about an individual that we know, and how that individual's context is that their experience of life is that they're always getting fucked by the man or effed by the man. Okay, so we'll just bleep that out. When you're living from that context, meaning when that is a fear or a concern inside of your life, the only thing that can show up inside of your life are situations that are going to have you experience being effed by the man. Whether that's being effed by the man through your career and however they're paying you, whether it's being effed by a friendship, relationship, or effed by a person that you're dating, or effed by the person that, cut you off on the freeway. There will be a multitude of situations that show up inside of your life that allow you to experience that context. Okay, does that make sense? Now, let's take another example. The context: I am rock star, or I am actor, or I am a 7-figure actor, or 7-figure athlete, or I'm a 7-figure rock star. Okay, when you have individuals living inside of that context, like that's what they have programmed in their mind, that who they are is that, then those types of situations begin to show up in their life. Opportunities that align with that context begin to show up in their life. So that's a pretty broad example, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. So the point of this video today is to have you understand and acknowledge your own power through understanding your context of life and giving you permission to change your context of life if you don't like the way it is right now. I'll use another example from my life. I was recently doing a meditation, and I was doing some body regen on myself. And I was also doing some energy work and some body regeneration on myself and the person that I'm currently in a relationship with. And it was really interesting because as I was doing the work and as I was clearing out my field just of my own past stuff, my own past concerns, past conversations, past patterns, I was really clearing that out of the field. And as I was clearing that out of the field, all of a sudden I heard this statement just drop on in. And the statement was, okay, so I heard this statement dropping in, and the statement was, the greatest love story ever. And when I heard that, it hit me like, oof, what? Like the greatest love story ever? And in that moment, I understood, oh, that's the context for the foundation of this relationship. That's what I'm being presented with as the context. And what would it look like if I stood inside of the context of the greatest love story ever? So what does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden my life is going to turn into the greatest love story ever with this person. What it means is if I really embody and embrace what is the greatest love story ever, if I embrace that as a way of being, then something shifts within me and something shifts within the fields around me, which then allows life to begin to show up inside of the greatest love story ever. So as I began to think about this more, because I thought, well, that's fun, that's powerful. Like, I want to stand inside of that context with this person. Like, that would just be amazing. Like, who wouldn't want the greatest love story ever, right? But then all of a sudden I recognized, wait a minute, what if that's like the context of my life? The greatest love story ever. And what would that then shift for my relationship to my son, or with my son, my relationship with my parents, my relationship to life, my relationship in my career, in my sales job, my relationship in my work with others and the healing work that I do, my relationship to you watching this channel? What would it be like if I began to sit inside of the context of the greatest love story ever? What makes that available in my life? Like, I don't even know, right? I have no idea. But the flow that could come inside of that would be something so unrecognizable to me that, it would completely shift and alter the way I experience life. So my question to you is, how do you experience your life? And what I'd love for you to do is comment below, how do you experience your life? Are you experiencing it with fun, play, and ease? Are you experiencing it as a struggle? Are you experiencing it with joy? Are you experiencing it as, I would rather not be around a lot of people, I would rather hide out in my home? Like, how are you experiencing life? Is the man effing you, like, ooh, the IRS and the bills and the feds and whatever, like, I don't know, the neighbor next door and the guy or the gal with the car that cut me off, or the boss and the boss man and are you having that kind of experience with life? Are you having the kind of experience that's just completely blissed out and you just are like whatever with everything? Are you in flow? Comment below, what is your experience of life? And if you can recognize what your experience of life is, that's when you get how powerful you are. Because I want you to really think about the context of your life literally comes from the thoughts that are running up here and the feeling and the connection to these thoughts that you have. That is the power of your context. So in any moment, you can change that context. If you're done being at the effect of your life and being the victim of your life and suffering from your life, well, amen to that, because you can change it. If you want to embrace your life, open yourself to life, open your heart to life, and just bring it in with every situation that's good, bad, ugly, sad, happy, that you're just embracing all of it, you get to say, you get to change that context in that moment. So I'm here to say and declare that I'm taking on the context of the greatest love story ever. What does that look like? What does Tara Moore's life look like when she's standing in the greatest love story ever? I have no idea, but I was gifted that thought, this week when I was doing some work. And when it came to me, especially around this person that I'm in a relationship with, who's just absolutely amazing. And I just feel so lucky. He's an incredible individual, and I just feel so honored and lucky, to get to explore and play in life with this person. But what would it be like, the greatest love story ever? In every aspect of my life, with my finances, with my spirituality, with my exercise habits, with my parenting, with my friendships, with my man, what does it look like to have the greatest love story ever? Every time I get in the driver's seat, in the car, driving in the context of the greatest love story ever, what does that look like? So I invite you to take that challenge this week. Create a new context for living if you're not excited about the one you have. But if you love the one you have, then rock it and tell me about that. Tell me, what is your context for living? And if you're struggling with how to figure out what it is, the number one key is just take a look around you and look at the situations, the circumstances that are all happening around you. That will give you a clue as to the context in which you're living from. So I want to leave all of you with that. Please do comment below. Let me know, what is the context that you're living from? How would you like to shift it? How would you like to change it? What would you like to do different? But more importantly, I want you to really get that you hold the key to that. That's your power. It's the power of your thought and the power of the emotion connected to the thought. Okay? And that's where you have access to transforming and shifting that. So I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you hear today, please like, subscribe, share, ring the bell. Also, I just look forward to working with all of you or seeing you again. And thank you so much, and have a beautiful and blessed day. And do tell me, what is your context for living? You have the power to make it all possible and to create anything you desire. Have an amazing day. Bye.